Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Koki of the Seahawk Recap Show. And what a game. Welcome back to the Seahawk game recaps for Sunday night football. Commanders versus your Seattle Seahawks last night. And I'm here to recap this game for you guys. What a win, man. This is one of the most dominating road victories this season. And man, oh man, off of the bye week, Seattle comes into Washington, D.C., and makes a statement. So, without me rambling on too much more in the intro, let's get into recapping Sunday Night Football Week 9 because, oh man, it was a doozy. If you guys like this video, please consider giving it a like. It helps me know if I'm doing a good job with these videos or not. And if you like to, please subscribe to the channel so that you not only don't miss out on any future Seahawks content, but also I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of this year. So it'd be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe. Game summary: Seahawks win 38 to the Commanders 14. And let's start off with the Washington Commanders because they were the home team. They had a total of 290 yards, 133 yards passing, 157 yards rushing, averaged 4.7 yards per play, 19 first downs. They went 6 for 13 on third down, went 1 for 2 on fourth down, had 62 total plays, 4 sacks allowed, 4 punts, 8 penalties for 78 yards given up, 1 fumble loss on a kickoff return. Connor O'Toole picks up that stripped ball, and they had 1 interception thrown by Jaden Daniels from Ty Okada in the first half. In the second quarter of this game, the Washington Commanders ended off the day with 32 minutes and 42 seconds of possession time. For your Seattle Seahawks, this has been one of the most complete games they had all season. They had a total of 418 total yards, 330 yards passing, 88 yards rushing. They averaged 8.7 yards per play, 21 first downs. They went 7 for 11 on third down, did not go for it on fourth down, had 48 total plays, 0 sacks allowed, 3 punts, had 5 penalties for 44 yards given up, no fumbles lost, and 1 interception thrown by Sam Darnold in the third quarter, picked off by the cornerback Mike Singletary there. I believe I'm saying his name correctly. And the Seahawks ended off the day with 27 minutes and 18 seconds of possession time. Let's get to Ryan's focus players and let's talk about the Commanders for a second. Talking about QB Jaden Daniels, 16 for 22, 153 yards passing, 0 touchdowns, the 1 interception by Ty Okada, his first interception of his career in the second quarter of this game. He had 10 carries for 51 yards, averaged 5.1 yards per carry, had the 1 rushing touchdown. And before we get into what I think about Jaden Daniels in this game, fourth quarter, 7:47, I believe it was, in the fourth quarter, Jaden Daniels gets sacked by Drake Thomas, and he goes down, gets wrapped up, and he lands on his left arm. It gets pinned behind him, and his arm bends in a way that it shouldn't. Jaden Daniels walks off, gets his left arm in a brace, and walks off under his own power. Hate to see it. As a Seahawks fan, if you know me and you've been around this channel for a while, I hate to see injuries, especially like just any type of injury. It really sucks to see guys hurt on the field. I wish Jaden Daniels all the best because this is a sport at the end of the day, but you never want to see someone get hurt, especially a guy like Jaden Daniels who's already missed some time with a hamstring injury. He comes back and he puts up phenomenal, like he puts up a good effort, I think, in this game. I think Jaden Daniels, you look at his stats and they don't look too impressive, but if you watch the game, 153 yards, 10 rushes for 51 yards. Those are all scrambles, by the way, because this Seahawks defense up front was so good on this Commander's O line that Jaden Daniels basically had to one man army his way through this game. And unfortunately, it ends up getting him hurt because he tries to do too much in a game that's already decided. And it really sucks to see this type of injury. I hope it's nothing serious for him, but he had a fantastic game. The way Jaden Daniels is going to lead the Commanders, like he is already, and I'm going to say this, he's a franchise quarterback. If you can keep him upright, if you can keep him healthy, the dynamic way that this guy plays, he is not the fastest guy in the world, but he can avoid pressure like nobody's business. He's able to run. He has the head on his shoulders that makes him a leader in the locker room for this Commanders team. And he put everything out on the field last night, and he really did well. So I think Jaden Daniels, despite his stats not looking great, some of his throws were amazing, and especially him in the run game, basically almost leading his team in rushing yards. That's an amazing feat. So hopefully Jaden Daniels, again, nothing serious about his injury. Don't want to have him be out for longer periods of time than he needs to be. But I hope he comes back and he's healthy and ready to help the Commanders win some football games. Running back Chris Rodriguez Jr., 12 carries, 65 yards, averaged 4.5 yards per carry, the one touchdown. And Chris Rodriguez going up against this Seahawks defensive front, it's the best in football against the run. This defense is mental against the run, being the best in the league. And Chris Rodriguez able to rip off 65 yards, 12 carries. Like that is no small feat, considering that they're going up against a unit that eats the run for breakfast. One thing I've realized is that Chris Rodriguez running between the tackles, he ran between the tackles a lot tonight or yesterday night, and he wouldn't go down. The guy would not go down. It took like two guys to bring this guy down on every single carry that he had. It was insane. So I think Chris Rodriguez had a really good game in this one. Props to him for putting in a good performance and getting that rushing touchdown to score one of the only 14 points that they had in the game. Let's get to wide receiver Deebo Samuel. 5 receptions, 41 yards, averaged 8.2 yards per reception, 0 touchdowns. And as a Seahawks fan, we know Deebo Samuel very well. Former 49ers wide receiver, still a menace, Deebo Samuel. He had a good game today, I think, or last night. He really did do a lot of good things. His route running is as crisp as ever. He's able to make certain catches that he needs to make. And considering that this Commanders team didn't have a lot of their wide receivers, they're missing Terry McLaurin, who is a big part of this offense. They were relying on Deebo Samuel and Zach Ertz to help them get some offense going, along with the running backs, of course. But Deebo Samuel, again, showing up like he always has, putting in some good numbers. Not great, but I think they're good numbers. And one thing I've really noticed about Deebo Samuel is his kind of shift in his game. He still does the end around backfield kind of stuff. He's still able to run. But the big thing I've noticed is that when he was on the 49ers, he was a lot more shifty. He was light on his feet. He could make you miss with his fancy footwork and everything. But on the Commanders, he's kind of shifted into more of like a bruiser type of wide receiver. I think he's got some weight on him more, and he's big and muscular, and he's able now to run through contact in a way that I have not seen from a guy like Deebo Samuel when he was on the 49ers. He would just run past you on the 49ers, but now he's running through people. Like he's running through contact. He's being a pain. And I think he had a really good game for the Commanders in this one. Let's get to the Commanders defense. Let's talk about D lineman, D tackle, Daron Payne. 0 solo tackles, 3 assisted, 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles. But I wanted to talk about Daron Payne, not only because he is a veteran for this Commanders defense, one of the longest tenured veterans on this Commanders team, but also he said something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way as a Seahawks fan. And I know that in sports, in any type of sport, you get these kind of answers in interviews or whenever you're talking to the media. So I'm not really upset about this. I just found it very funny and wanted to highlight it. Daron Payne, before this game, I believe it was 2 days ago, he was asked about Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he gave the typical kind of athlete answer about who's that? Who is Jackson Smith the Jigba, pretending that he didn't know who the leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage was. And I just find it funny how Daron Payne now obviously knows or should know who Jackson Smith the Jigba is because Jackson Smith the Jigba torched his defense. But other than that, I just thought that was really funny, so I wanted to bring it up. Daron Payne, getting into what he did in this game, he didn't do much in terms of his stat line, but he is a run stuffer. He is a veteran in this league. He's a veteran for the Washington Commanders, and his job is to stop the run. And he did that. He made sure that Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet didn't get going on the ground as much as they wanted because they know that the Seahawks are a run first type of team. They want to establish the run. And Daron Payne, at least when it came to the inside runs, was very good in that regard. So I think Daron Payne, a decent game from him overall. Let's get to DB Jeremy Reeves. 2 solo tackles, 5 assisted, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. And Jeremy Reeves, a guy that is coming in as a backup for a guy named Will Park, who was the one of your safeties, Commanders fans, that broke his leg earlier this season. Jeremy Reeves, man, one of, I think, the bright spots on this Commanders team that I saw last night. He was making hits. He was trying to get some energy into his defense, and that's what you need from a guy that is a veteran on this team at the safety position. Next man up mentality. He comes in, he lights up Kenneth Walker a couple times. I think he even lit up Zach Charbonnet a couple times with some of his hits, and he's doing what he can out there. He covered Jackson Smith the Jigba a couple times, making it, not very accessible for Sam Darnold to use Jackson Smith and Jigba as much as he probably wanted to. So I think Jeremy Reeves, although he's a backup, I think he had a really decent game for the Commanders secondary. And y'all knew this was coming. Let's talk about linebacker. Former Seahawk Bobby Wagner, 3 solo tackles, 4 assisted, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. And I'm going to try to take off my nostalgia glasses for a moment. Bobby Wagner, man, I'm highlighting him here not only because he is a former Seahawk and I love him to bits. I think he is one of the best Seahawks to ever grace the team on the defensive side of the ball, and that's saying a lot. But Bob Wagner, man, still doing it at his age. I think he's either 34 or 35, and he is still a monster. Although he can't run as fast anymore, maybe he's lost his step in his speed, his tackling ability is still there. His technique is still there. He's able to chase down guys if he needs to in a pinch. And I think Bob Wagner for this Commanders defense did very well. I'm glad he's found a home here with the Commanders. I think he's such a good linebacker, such a good talent for this Commanders team, and I wish him all the best. I think he had a really good game last night. Let's get to the Seahawks offense. Let's talk about QB Sam Darnold. What a game from Sam Darnold. 21 for 24, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, the one interception in the third quarter by Mike Cerstello or Cerstell, I believe. I'm sorry, I probably messed up his last name completely, but ultimately, Sam Darnold, no complaints, buddy. Like, even on that interception, yeah, it's a mistake, but man, oh man, what a clean pocket for Sam. What a way he managed this game. Coming off the bye week, you're looking at probably making a statement. His footwork was amazing this game. Didn't have to do much. He was able to scan the field with such proficiency that he was able to do something that no quarterback has done since 2015. You want to know what that stat is? He had a perfect first half. He went, I believe, 16 for 16 in the first half. He had 4 touchdowns. The last quarterback to have that good of a half was Miami Dolphins' Ryan Tannehill in 2015. That's insane. I can't believe how well he played in this game. Everything he did turned to gold. He was able to find his open wide receivers. He was able to use Corey Horton. He was able to use Elijah Arroyo. He was able to use guys like Cody White, who came off the practice squad. He got him a touchdown. It was a thing of just absolute beauty. Let's get to running back Kenneth Walker, 11 carries, 42 yards, averaged 3.8 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. Just a lackadaisical day for Kenneth Walker. I think he had some good plays in here. He ripped off some good plays on the edge, on the left side of this line, like he's been running to on the outside majority of this season. He's had a really good time with it, and I think he had a good game. I don't think he was very much needed in this game, considering the passing attack by Sam Darnold was so lethal. But I still believe, 11 carries, almost 50 yards. Nice to see from a guy like Kenneth Walker. 3.8 yards per carry, not too terrible. Wide receiver Torrey Horton. Let's talk about him for a moment. 4 receptions, 48 yards, averaged 12 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns. What did I say that the Seahawks would need to do and who would need to step up? Well, in the injury report from last night, I had mentioned that the Seahawks had a banged up wide receiver core. No Cooper Kupp, no Jake Bobo, and no Tariq Young, which meant guys like Corey Horton, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and guys like Cody White would need to step up in this game, along with Elijah Arroyo and some of the tight ends like AJ Barner. Corey Horton basically, I think, got my message and said, okay, you need me to step up. I can do that. The 5th round pick out of Colorado State, 2 touchdowns in this game. I believe that's his 5th touchdown of the year coming in. He's got 5 touchdowns. Man, for a 5th round pick, for a guy that fell to the Seahawks in their lap, basically, this guy can do it all. He is amazing on special teams in the punt game. And his ability this game, his release in this game against man coverage was something that was out of a movie. The amount of wide open space that Torrey Horton had in this game was amazing. To see this guy in his rookie season already have 5 touchdowns on the year, it's insane and a great way to step up when people are out. Next man up mentality was big in this game, and I love me some Torrey Horton. He is a fantastic addition. Great game from him, from the rookie. Amazing passes by Sam Darnold, as always. But great job to hold those passes in, and he was very instrumental in this win last night. Let's get to the Seahawks defense. D lineman Leonard Williams, 3 solo tackles, 2 assisted, 1 sack, no forced fumbles. Big Cat is amazing. He is a guy that I was recognizing from the word go. As soon as this team took to the field for the first time, we saw a ton of double teams on Leonard Williams, which allowed other pass rushers to get to Jaden Daniels and this Commanders offense. Derek Hall was opened up a little bit. Boya Mafe was opened up a little bit. And also Jaron Reed was opened up. And Byron Murphy as well. But man, having a guy like Leonard Williams who is such a beast. Even through all the double teams he faced last night, he still got a sack. Like, that's insane. He's amazing in the run game. He showed out again against Jacoby Krosky Merritt. And, he's done amazing things with this Seahawks team. Love to see it. Love to see this D line putting on a clinic again. Pressure everywhere. The only thing I would say is that they needed to wrap up on some of the QB contained because Jaden Daniels is a freak of nature and, he ran for 10 carries and 51 yards. Maybe that needs to be a little bit cleaned up, but I think all in all, the D line had a very good game, and so did Leonard Williams. Let's talk about the secondary. DB cornerback. Welcome back, Devin Witherspoon. 5 solo tackles, 2 assisted, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Man, oh man, did we miss some Devin Witherspoon here. Love number 21 on the field. This guy, coming off of his knee injury, his coverage skills were great, locking down wide receivers like Deebo Samuel. And one of the big things I love about Devin Witherspoon, he is not afraid, like at all, of rushing the passer. When he's on this team and he's healthy, Mike McDonald rolls a lot of blitzes because he knows that Devin Witherspoon can get to the quarterback really fast and try to get some pressure or get a sack. And one of the big things I love about Devin Witherspoon too is that his tackling ability in this game, he is not only one of the most aggressive corners that I have seen since Richard Sherman, but he has the technique to where he can wrap up guys and not let them go. And even if he can't make the tackle himself, he waits for help. He makes it so that the plays slow down, and then he waits for help, and his guy comes in and clobbers. It's amazing. I think Devin Witherspoon had a really good game. Glad to see him back and healthy off of his recent knee injury. We missed him a ton in this secondary. It looks a lot better with him in it. Let's talk about linebacker, and I can't stop talking about this guy in particular, Drake Thomas. 3 solo tackles, 4 assisted, the 1 sack that unfortunately injured Jaden Daniels in the fourth quarter. 0 interceptions. Drake Thomas, amazing game from him. He came in, took over a spot in this lineup ahead of Therese Knight, and there's a reason why. His coverage skills were on full display. He's on special teams. He's making tackles when he needs to, and he's a really good, solid player in the interior linebacker spot. Now, he came in and took over the green dot, which is the play calling signals for this team, because unfortunately, Ernest Jones did get injured in this game. Now, he looks to not have anything totally serious, hopefully on his knee. So he may miss some time, but it's not going to be season ending. In terms of Drake Thomas, just a great all-around performance. He's having a really terrific season. And in this game, he puts his claim to stay in the lineup as one of their starters because he's performing magic out there on the field this season. Great game from Drake Thomas. What went well? Domination on all fronts tonight. JSN with his 6th 100-yard game this season. I don't remember the exact stats for Jackson Smith and Jigba, but it was like 9 targets, 7 receptions for 160 something yards, I think. And he's putting on a clinic. I know I highlighted Corey Horton because I didn't want to highlight Jackson Smith and Jigba again, even though he's having his best season of his career as a number 1. This defense, oh my God. How good are they? Coming off of the bye week, you want to not look sluggish. I know it's the Commanders. I know they're banged up. I know they're missing a lot of key players due to injury, but you can only play the guys that are in front of you in the schedule. And to have this dominant of a victory 38-14, like this defense, this offense, just what went well? Everything. The special teams even went well. Connor O'Toole stripped a ball and got the ball on special teams, helped create a fumble in this game. So I love this team, man. Going into week 9, this is where you look at the playoff picture and you go, we're halfway through the season. This is where you make your mark and be excellent. And you did it here. What to improve on? Honestly, for me, didn't see any problems here. I think this was a thorough, dominant victory, the best of the season so far. Sometimes I look at things and I go, I can nitpick this. The penalties, 5 penalties for 44 yards, like that's not bad. That is not bad. You didn't give up a lot of yardage. You played your assignments soundly. You know, Reek Woolen didn't make any big mistakes. Like it's amazing. This is the first game of the season where I don't need to nitpick anything because this is the statement win of the season. Love to see it. Final thoughts. Overall, ecstatic to see the Seahawks with a 6-2 record on the season for this team so far. I think this team is going to the playoffs and is going to be dangerous in them. Like this whole division, the NFC West as a whole is insane. Like I'm looking at the playoff picture. I was looking at the playoff picture last night, and I was looking at the playoff picture a week ago on the bye week. And the Seahawks are in there, the Rams are in there, and the 49ers were in there. That's 3 teams from one division in the NFC that are fighting in the playoffs. And it just shows you how good the NFC West is, but also how good the Seahawks have been. They have lost their 2 games by the 49ers by 4 points and the Buccaneers by 3 in a shootout game. This team, if they play like that, if they can keep playing like that, like they've done all season, they have held teams to 20 or less points in a game all season long because of this defense. And Sam Darnold is just getting better and better in this scheme. He looks very comfortable here. Great to see. This team is going to be dangerous in the playoffs when they make them. I love this team. For the Commanders, overall, I know it's a tough loss for you guys, and this season hasn't gone the way you guys expected, considering the injuries to your entire team. Like, your entire team is banged up, along with a lot of other teams around the league. And again, I've got to mention Jaden Daniels here. Like I mentioned in my focus players, he is an amazing player. I have loved the Washington Commanders whenever you guys play, you know, you guys were a very you guys are a very dedicated fan base. A lot of you were there when the Washington Commanders were under the command of Dan Schneider, and those were terrible years because the guy didn't care about anything ever for this team. He didn't take care of the team at all. And now that you have a new owner, now that you have new leadership, you guys are finally getting some success. You guys have Jaden Daniels, who put on a fantastic, fantastic rookie year. You made it to I believe you made it to the NFC Championship game. You guys deserve this. You guys deserve all the all the love in the world because you guys are some very, very patient fans, and you guys deserve good things to happen to your team. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been the season that you guys wanted. And with Jaden Daniels, again, love this guy. Phenomenal player, is going to be your franchise quarterback. I believe in that. I think he is, you watch him play, he's amazing. And I wish him all the best in his injury. Came off a hamstring injury, played in this game. I don't think he should have played that late into the game. Injuries like this do happen. I hope he has nothing severe on his injury. That is it for this Seahawk game recap of Sunday Night Football, Week 9, Commanders versus your Seattle Seahawks. Let me know in the comment section down below, how do you feel about this win on the road after the bye week? Let's see what happens in Week 10 when we take on the Arizona Cardinals. That's going to be another fun game to watch. Anyways, take care of yourselves. Go Hawks, go. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.